Welcome. I'll tell everybody welcome if you don't want to.
Hi.
Hello.
Let's hear that theme. Uh-oh, I hope it works.
I hear it.
It's Church Chat with Pastors Dan and Dave. Come hang out with us on our stream. It's Church Chat Wednesday.
Hey, it's Church Chat Wednesday. I'm Pastor Dan.
And I'm Pastor Dave.
Coming to you live from the studios of James Adkins Palace as he's over there making magic happen. So today, usually James makes us a quite delicious pot of coffee. He's a man of many talents.
Yep.
One of which is
Brewing coffee.
Putting
Putting beans into a machine.
But instead,
today we got us some We Serve coffee. So it was hilarious. I went in and got it, and there were several things that it was a comedic experience for me. Number one, James wanted a sandwich. I didn't tell them what kind of who wanted the sandwich. I said, "Hey, there's some things I need. I need a breakfast panini with sausage, onions, and chipotle mayo." And they said, "That's for James." And I said, "That's correct." And then I said, "Tell me who this is for." And it was a skinny, no-fat caramel latte or something like that.
yeah?
And they said, "That's got to be Dave." And I was like, "Yeah." And then they said, "And you don't even need to say anything, the Highlander grog's on drip." I said,
Aren't they good?
so excited.
They're so good.
And they gave us these sleeves that say Kylie 2020 for Kylie Bates, who former employee, now down at University of Cincinnati, church member. And they still have like a box of these left over. Apparently, they said there's only so many people we can give these to that it's not weird. So we got Kylie 2020 sleeves. So shout out Kylie Bates, former church chat guest, I believe.
Yes. When we came
When we were live from We Serve, she was on there. So former church chat
Church Chat alumni.
church chat alumnus. So hey, next time you go to We Serve Coffee, go ahead and ask for the Kylie 2020 sleeve. They've got those special for you.
Well, what's funny is if I walk in at lunchtime, the very first thing they say is either Jack is here or Jack is not here.
Because they know that you want the steak
Because
sandwich
they know
and Jack
I want
is
the
there.
steak sandwich, and Jack is the only one who can make it. And so as soon as I walk in, they're like,
They actually
Jack's
asked
here.
me. They actually asked me, since they knew I was getting you coffee, if I was also getting you a steak sandwich because Jack was there.
no, but you know what? Guess what I'm doing after
You're
this?
going straight
Yes.
there, aren't you?
Yes.
Going straight there, getting that steak Sammy.
Best sandwich in town.
We've
put it
mentioned
out
this,
there.
We've mentioned this several times. Speaking of James got a breakfast panini. Speaking of breakfast foods, there's my transition. The news story. There's a lot of news stories going around, but one that's a lighthearted news story that I am obsessed with right now. Just absolutely obsessed with. There was a gentleman who recently on Twitter put out that he bought a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay.
In pouring himself a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, he found two items that appeared to be shrimp tails coated in cinnamon sugar. He tweets a picture of it to the official Cinnamon Toast Crunch Twitter handle, which that's a thing, and says, "Hey, why are there shrimp tails in my Cinnamon Toast Crunch?" They reply back and say, after careful, scrutiny, it looks to us like that's actually what can happen sometimes to cinnamon and sugar that doesn't like fully get cooked right or something like that. And he says, "Well, according to my eyes, these are shrimp tails." And it's like, so don't try to tell me these are not shrimp tails. And so then they kind of message him and say, "Hey, sorry, would you send them to us so we can look?" And he's like, "I'll send one to you.
That's the best part.
But I'm not sending both because you tried to tell me that it's not this and I'm not crazy." And so he's taken the other one to a lab, and some crustacean biologist is like, to make it crazier, This person who this happened to is married to Danielle Fishel, otherwise known as Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Nice.
What's happening? This is now a story in the New York Times. They've picked this up. I'm very invested in what happens in this whole situation. Does he get free Cinnamon Toast Crunch for life? Does he want free Cinnamon Toast Crunch for life?
If he gets
Maybe it's made out of delicious shrimp.
free cinnamon toast for life out of this, you will not hear about it. It will be part of a non-disclosure agreement.
So here's the thing, though. This guy also is in show business to an extent, has done some things in the hip-hop community, and is an aspiring stand-up comedian. This is gold for an aspiring stand-up comedian. He will have a special revolving around this. No non-disclosure will be able to meet the amount of money he could make from a stand-up special about this experience.
Another great situation for an aspiring stand-up comedian is when somebody texts you accidentally, and they're texting someone else.
Yes, that was, and I'm not an aspiring stand-up comedian, but I did have that. I've debated about whether or not to publicly share this because it wasn't mean-spirited, but it was, I don't know. So what happened was, we're about to talk to a dog person.
I just outed you.
You just outed me. So I got a text from a random number the other day. Mm-hmm. And no idea who this person was. It was obviously a wrong number. She said something like, she called me some girl's name, is who she was trying to reach, and said, I'm your official dog food expert that will help design the meal plan for your dog, and sent me a picture of her dogs and said, so how can I help you? And
so that was legit.
that was legit.
I
this
thought you
happened.
copied that off the...
No.
Oh, that was
This
real.
actually happened to me.
Okay.
And so I was like, I've been training for this my whole life. How do I respond to this person?
It is so much infinitely better now.
I could have just immediately said, this is the wrong number. I think, whatever. Instead, what I did was send a picture that I found online of a coyote. It said, I can only get him to eat raw squirrel. It has to be fresh. What do I do? And then I waited. And it was hours before I got a response back. But when I did, it was, sorry, only dry kibble here, and a gif of a squirrel on water skis. And so I said, obviously you have a wrong number. And she said, thank you though, you've made my day. And I said, well, great, I'm glad I could make your day. But yes, that actually happened to me. That was not just something I printed from online.
I thought it was like something you saw on Facebook or
actually
whatever.
Happened.
I didn't know. I honestly, Dave, I didn't know why you weren't more stoked about it at the moment. Like I thought it was hilarious. I sent it around.
Yeah, I was just like,
No, this was happening in real time to me when I was texting you.
this is the best now. I'm glad we cleared this up.
So I didn't want to be mean-spirited, but I also wanted to have fun. So
it sounds like
I think I found a nice balance in the middle.
Going back to your other story, you mentioned Topanga.
Yes.
Did any of you watch Boy Meets World?
Oh, absolutely.
See, here's the thing: is like there are so many shows I never watched because I was always busy hanging out with the Y. So like Miami Vice, never saw an episode. All these shows, and then Heidi and I moved here around 92, 93. I was a closet Boy Meets World watcher. She didn't even know, and I would I had to tape the final episode because it was going off the air, and we could not find the time to watch it. So finally, I had to come clean. I watched Boy Meets World, And we're gonna have to sit in for the last episode.
What did she think less of you because of that? Was she just
like,
confused?
I would, out of every show possible, like I would picture you watching Miami Vice or something.
But it was Boy Meets World.
Yeah, but Boy Meets World. How? Why? I have so many questions.
Well, then, so what was interesting about Boy Meets World is that there are a lot of things that I could talk about it the whole episode, but there was a reboot not that long ago called Girl Meets World, and it was about Corey and Topanga's daughter, Riley, I believe was her name, and this was a show that my daughters were very into. So it went full circle. This is a generational thing, and I can't wait for my grandchildren to watch about Riley's children.
They did that with a couple other shows too. But I see we have our guest.
We do.
She's ready. You guys
We're
ready?
ready.
We're ready whenever,
We're
man.
ready.
Let me go ahead and bring her onto the stream.
Let's bring ourselves back into
guys-
some reality of some sort.
You guys always like blindside me with this. I could bring her in,
You go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't want to step on your toes. This was
that's
Dave's
all right.
fault.
We got her. She's here. Say hello to your guest.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Doing well. I'm Pastor Dan.
And I'm Pastor Dave, the guy who's been in touch with you.
Oh, hi. Nice to put a face to a name.
Yeah. So, Christy, we understand that you. I just love for you to tell us a little bit about. Dave kind of stumbled on what it is that you do and your company do by a little bit by accident, but it turns out to be a really cool thing, and we thought it'd be a great thing to kind of share with people about how it is that you help people with post-traumatic stress with therapy dogs. So, could you tell us a little bit about your company and what it is that you guys do?
Yes, I would be happy to. Thank you. And thank you for reaching out. So I am the director of training at Got Your Six Support Dogs, which simply translates into Got Your Back. And we train service dogs for veterans and first responders who are living with PTSD.
That's incredible. How did you, is this something that you've always had a passion for? How did you stumble into this?
So I have been training dogs for 20 years, and I want to say it kind of fell in my lap because I knew the executive director for many years. We actually started our training careers together at one point in a different, like a doggy daycare. And then we split ways and we hadn't seen each other in years. And at one point she reached out and said, "Hey, I just want to know if you know somebody who is interested in training service dogs." And I was like, well, I'm really glad you asked me because I'd be interested. I was training therapy dogs at a different organization at a time and was really happy for the opportunity. So it's one of those moments where you have to answer the call and be present in the moment.
So do these dogs go and live with the people that they're supporting?
Yes. So they are living with their trainer for about 18 months, and they get trained up by a professional trainer. And then every year we pair with recipients, and there's a process for the recipients to go through where they have to apply. They do have to prove that they're going through therapy up for themselves, and that therapy has to continue every month in order to receive a dog. Outside of that, there's no charge to the recipients, to the veteran or the first responder. We don't charge them for anything. And we have a 2-week intensive that they go through to learn how to train the dog, how to continue the dog's training, what the dog will be doing for them. And then we have activities for them to continue their own recovery through therapy and different types of therapies.
So I know you're in Missouri. Is this mostly local, or have you sent it to other states and other places in the U.S.?
So I live in Missouri, but we're actually based in Illinois. Our organization is based in Illinois, and but we place dogs nationwide.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's incredible. How have you seen this be, just I mean, this sounds like something that'd be very meaningful, like really meaningful work, helping see somebody recover. Like, what is it that that you just really enjoy, and how do you see it being a really impactful thing?
Oh, a lot of these recipients, they have trauma from past life, not just from their careers either, not just from their time in the military or their time as a first responder. Um, it's incredible to see the people open up. I'm going to say especially men, because there is more of a stigma for men to recover from things. They're supposed to bottle it up and, just be a man about it, essentially. And so watching men soften up, and they bury their face in a dog's face, and they just kind of let things go, let things come off of them. That's the best.
So I kind of warned you about this question on Facebook. You have a memorable experience from all this?
Yeah, we have a gentleman named Jack right now. He would be, only because he's so fresh, he's on the top of my mind at the moment. And he had a service dog from a different organization who had passed away. And he's a Vietnam veteran, and he lost his service dog. And that organization was going through a serious transition, so they couldn't get him a dog in the next 2 or 3 years. So we stepped up and we found him a dog sooner. And I had some reservations about it because we weren't his original placer. We weren't the original service dog organization for him. And so I had some reservations, but this man, I mean, he just opens your eyes to what it's really like. I mean, I think because he's had some age on him, so he has some wisdom on him, that he really opens your eyes to how hard recovery can be and how much the dog really impacts recovery. And I mean, he's probably one of our most memorable at the moment.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I mean, I think in some ways, there's a lot of parallels. I mean, between what we do and what you do is like, it's about watching somebody's life transform and change into what it could possibly be. I think is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So kudos to you for what you're doing, because I think all of us have just really hard stuff in our past, but some more than others, and they need kind of that extra push. And so what a cool thing you guys are able to offer. Do you have any idea? I'm kind of just curious about this. About how many dogs have you guys been able to place, or like kind of what's kind of a normal amount that you do like in a year or something like that?
So currently we're doing about 10 a year, and we started in 2015.
Okay.
So we would like to raise our numbers, but because we are one of the only service dog organizations that pay their trainers, and and we cover all the costs of the dogs, money kind of stops us from growing our class size as much as we'd like to.
Sure. If somebody is listening to this and wants to say, hey, I think this is awesome, I want to be able to support it, how can they get in touch with y'all? Is there a website they could go to?
Yeah, our website is gotyoursixsupportdogs.org.
Okay. Is it the number 6 or write it out?
Spelled out.
Okay.
It's spelled out.
Okay, spell it out. So Got Your Six Support Dogs, and I'm sure they can find more information on there about, if maybe they know somebody who would want to apply for one, or if they want to be able to support the organization. All that info's on there?
Yes.
All right.
And James is putting it in the comments as we speak.
Wonderful. So we'll put that link out there
that's
for
wonderful.
everybody. So I just out of curiosity, I assume that there are some dogs that make better support dogs than others, right? Like, do you send out a whole lot of Chihuahuas or anything like that? Or is it mostly are there certain breeds that you normally stick with?
So we actually this year took a really good I guess poll is the best word for it, on which breeds are succeeding the best. And our Labradors and Golden Retrievers do succeed the best. We have done a few German Shepherds. We've done a few Border Collies and Australian Shepherds. But our German Shepherds actually they're like the ones who don't do the best. Partly because they live with their trainer for 18 months and German Shepherds don't handle change well.
Okay.
And so transitioning to different hands is really difficult for them. While Golden Retrievers and Labs don't care who they're with as long as they're being fed.
Wow. I thought my Golden Retriever loved me. Apparently, it's just I'm putting food in the bowl.
Dan and I have both gotten puppies within the last month or so.
Right.
So is there? His is a Golden Retriever. Mine's a Boston Terrier. So if we could just send those to you for a while and you work out all the kinks for us, we'd appreciate that.
Sure.
I'll drop her in FedEx tomorrow. Well, no, I appreciate what it is that you all do. Is there anything else that you'd like to just share about your organization or things that you think people ought to know about, especially veterans who are maybe struggling with some of these issues?
Well, so a few things. Our application process is thorough, but is easy to get to. You can find it from the website. So if you're not ready to talk to someone just yet, you can start your process online. In general, our entire mission is to help veterans and first responders. So we don't train service dogs for the general public. They have to be a veteran or first responder. A typical cost for us to train a dog is $25,000. So if we place 10 dogs, each one of them costs us $25,000. So we do need support in that fashion. We do hold group classes for the public or training for the public. So if someone's needing just general training, we do offer that as well. And the cost of those classes go directly to support our veterans and first responders.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Very cool. Well, anything else from you?
I was just going to say, I really, really appreciate you taking your time to be on our show.
Yeah, and thanks for what you do for our veterans
Absolutely.
and first responders. We appreciate that, and it's definitely one of those areas of need. And what a cool way that you guys are going about helping them out. So we'll share your information, and hopefully some people can find out some more information.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me on. And I know I was hard to get a hold of,
you're
so
good.
thanks for sticking with me.
Hey,
If I might add one thing, other than for the vets looking for a service animal, are there specific ways that others can support you, that can support the company? Like if you just love the company and you wanted to help out.
So monetary donations are always accepted. We do have a lot of volunteer opportunities, though, for maintenance and breaking down boxes, cleaning, things like that. And we are currently in need of some puppy raisers.
now where would
Puppy
that
raiser, that sounds like a good job.
Where would that be? Would that be in Illinois?
Yeah, so we're right on the Illinois and Missouri. We're very close to the Missouri state line. So anyone from Missouri or Illinois, if they wanted to puppy raise.
But if people want to be able to give, doesn't matter where you live.
Doesn't matter where you live.
Great. Well, we'll make sure you get a link to this also. So if you want to be able to share this with some more folks, I mean, we're in Ohio, so it's a little bit of a drive. But if you want to be able to share this, please feel free, and hopefully some more people will find out about what it is that you guys do.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely. Take care.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
One of the things that's really special, I think, we know some folks who are veterans and who are, first responders, that kind of thing, and being able to support them. For people that, we saw this last week, a police officer who lost his life, and that's something, though, even when it doesn't make the big news, it's stuff that happens on the daily. That there's trauma, that there's things that happen to people who are putting their lives on the line for others, and so we do appreciate that and appreciate the work that that Christy's doing.
Yeah, and
I think it's awesome.
I know two people. One is he was blind, and so he had a dog. He's on his second or third now. And eventually they just dog gets too old to help him out, and so he's got to get another one. But that bond that they have is incredible. And then the person that's in charge of veteran services here in town, and she suffers from PTSD, and that's part of her story. She shares that publicly.
Okay.
And she, I know she's on her second support dog, and just the awesome bond that she has and how that has helped her bloom. I mean, she's basically a public personality now.
Yeah.
That's really cool to see.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. I am disappointed to know that my golden retriever doesn't actually love me, though.
Yeah.
That was sad to hear, but it's all right. It's all right. So,
well, the truth is, your golden retriever loves you, but if somebody else just randomly found her and started feeding her, then
it's absolutely true that
they just have a lot of love to give.
Well, so I was thinking about this with dogs recently. Like, I know there are people some people have dogs who are just not good with people, or a stranger comes to the door I don't know how to raise that kind of dog. Like, all of my dogs would just lick a burglar in the face. Like, they would just be like, "Hey, this is great. More people here to play with me." Like, I don't know how to do that. How does that happen?
Well, I think I've mentioned this before. Our boxer is the most timid dog, the most timid animal I've ever seen. So there are times we're walking him, and there is a snowman. We have to cross the street. So anytime somebody bangs on our door, he loses his mind, and whoever walks in is walking on eggshells. But the reality is, once they set foot in the house, he goes upstairs and will not come down until they leave. And usually we have to give him a Xanax that night. So he is.
He just can't handle it.
He looks like he's going to rip your face off, but he is just, yeah.
Yeah, no, my dogs could care less. Faith wouldn't even raise her head if a stranger walked in the door. She's like, "It's fine, whatever."
Well, she
I don't
usually
care.
kind of gallops over. So
maybe a little bit.
Because you might have some food.
Might have some food. Maybe you want to rub my belly.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Chubb, the puppy, he's the opposite. He wants to come and show off in the full deal. Yeah.
So, over to some more serious kind of things. Some things I want to let people know about that are coming up, and this will kind of lead into a different discussion. But Holy Week obviously is coming up. This Sunday's Palm Sunday, regular service Palm Sunday, service times and all of that. I think we're only gonna be able to do the second service live online, not the first service. There was a little confusion about that, so we'll just have the second service live online. Thursday, we'll try to also, there's a Monday, Thursday service, 7 o'clock. We'll make sure that we try to get that online as well. That'll be in the sanctuary. For Good Friday, there's a sign-up link, right? There's a link? There's a link.
Yes, there is.
That is on the Facebook page. It's on the website.
And I'll send it to James.
And we'll send it to James and put it in the link right now, and you can
description.
sign up, because I want people to kind of go through one at a time. So there's time slots on Good Friday to be able to go through that. It's kind of a walk-through worship experience of kind of the Stations of the Cross kind of thing. It'll be really good. You're going to want to check that out. And then Easter Sunday, both services, traditional and contemporary, same normal times, but we'll have both of those that we will try to have available online as well. So I want to make sure you know that those things are available. One of the things I'm going to mention this Sunday as another upcoming event, it's in May, and I want to say it's May 21st or 22nd. I don't have that right.
Is this what
The thing I texted you, if you could look that up. It's the World Vision 6K, Global 6K for water. So what this is it's an opportunity for to walk or to run 6 kilometers. The reason it's usually you do a 5K, this is a 6K, and the reason is
May 22nd.
May 22nd, Saturday at 9 a.m. And you can sign up online. It's $50 to sign up. The reason it's a 6K is that is on average the distance a child has to walk every day for water in developing countries. And Holly, my wife, has seen a lot of this firsthand. She's worked with World Vision, been in Kenya and been in Bangladesh, seen some of these issues. And they walk these 6 kilometers for water with just a jerry can. These are kids younger than my girls, some my girls' age, by themselves. So they don't go to school because they have to go fetch the water. And the water they're bringing back is just from these pools that other animals are drinking in. And there's human trafficking that happens, and it's all sorts of other terrible things. The water they bring back makes them sick. And so what this does in the 6K is World Vision is working to dig deep water boreholes in the villages themselves so that nobody has to go out and get the water. It's just right there, and it's clean, and it doesn't matter if there's a drought, the water's just there. And so the $50 race registration gives you a bib with that kid's picture on it, and you are providing for that child with your $50 clean water for life, which is just an absolutely amazing gift that you can give. And so one of the things, I'm going to be mentioning that this week in the sermon because we're finishing up with Peter and talking about what Peter's legacy is and how Peter is able to leave a legacy and what kind of legacy can you leave. And one legacy you could leave is, I'm going to save a kid's life. You know, I'm going to give this kid, it's $50 and I walk or run 6 kilometers and I might never meet this kid, but I'm able to do something that is life-giving for them. And so that's a part of your legacy. So I sent you the link should be in the comment section. But a lot of links in the comment section today. Places we want you to get involved, people. So
I put the World Vision one up. I'm about to do the last sign up.
Okay, got it. So check that out. Go and feel free to register for that. Our goal is for I think the goal is for 100 people to register, which would be absolutely amazing. Here in Findlay, it'll be at Emory Adams. We did it a couple of years ago, and it was great. Last year was more virtual. There will be a virtual option also this year, but we're also getting to that point where I think we can probably be outside at Emory Adams in May together.
Yeah.
Probably.
The weather will be bad just because.
It will be. The weather will be terrible. Yeah. We're not weather people, although we're about to talk to a weather person.
Yes, Mr. Chris Vickers.
How about that for a transition? That's a tease for next week. But yeah, just something that's really, really dear to my heart and to Holly's heart. She has been to both Kenya and Bangladesh, and it's just, every now and then I like to try to bring things like this up because we get very, very focused on our own world, on what's going on in many ways, rightfully so, what's going on in the U.S., what's going on in our communities, and those are things of concern. But we are, our body of Christ is global, and something that's just weighed really heavy on me in the past few days. There was recently a massive fire at a refugee camp in Bangladesh. More than 10,000 people lost their home in this refugee camp, and their home was like a little tent, displaced in the middle of all of this. These are refugees who are coming from Myanmar, where there was a genocide happening. The Rohingya people. There's about 250,000 Rohingya people in Bangladesh as refugees. To get your mind around that, that's about the population of Toledo. I mean, so this is a lot of people, and 10,000 of them there's just this massive, devastating fire in the middle of COVID. COVID's affecting them too. In the middle of all of this, already refugees, and now they've lost any possessions they did have. I mean, it's just my heart breaks for those folks. And so the 6K helps people like that, people who are in these situations, in these really difficult situations. So just be in prayer for them. Check that kind of stuff out. If you see a link about that, read about it, learn about it, figure out what's going on, because these are people who are, children of God, created in God's image, that we're called to love and care for as well.
Being pastors, we see and hear some rough stuff. And I will say this, there, out of the guests we've had over the years, the last 20 plus years, there are only a handful who've brought an emotional tearjerker for me. And one was when your wife talked about the water in Africa. And I think basically the way she set the stage was because your youngest daughter, Amelia, I think she was about 5 at the time, she just talked about how she would be there and these kids who were Millie's age would be sent out into basically the wilderness. I mean, there's
Walking off into the distance.
There's every kind of African animal you can experience. Not only that, but people. And their parents wouldn't see them till evening when they're coming back with that water. That got me.
Yeah.
I mean, it is such an important thing, and not only that, but the it's a lot of fun. The 6K thing
it's a blast,
and I don't think anybody will be able to beat me. Dead last.
Ooh.
Last time we get
challenge you this year
dead last
to not be dead
like,
last.
I was like picking up signs as I was going along.
Well, we did appreciate that. You could just say it was an act of service.
Because
picking
I
up the
was so
signs.
far behind. I'm like, I don't want them to walk all the way out here. But so it is a lot of fun too. There were a lot of St. Mark's people in Orange. So come out and support it.
One of the people that helped set it up the last time we did it,
Kylie Bates.
Kylie Bates. Yeah, Kylie Bates 2020. It's like she's running for office or something. So anyway, check that out. We'd love for you to sign up for that. Great way. Invite your friends. This is also a great way to invite friends into meeting church people and doing a church thing that doesn't seem like a church thing, but we trick them.
Yep.
Because really we're being very compassionate and Jesus-y in the midst of all of it. And so, So yeah, excited about that coming up. I'm excited for there to be an event, for there to be a thing for us to say, hey, let's look forward to this.
Yeah.
So you also get a shirt, you get a medal. It's great.
It'll be awesome.
It's great. It's going to be a good time. So you'll hear more about that Sunday. I hope that you will come and be a part of everything as we get into Holy Week starting this Sunday. It's going to be great in the traditional service. We've got a mini choir starting to come back. I heard them practicing the other day. It's like, I haven't heard that sound in a year. It's been like, oh, how about that? There's a choir again. Yeah, I hope that you'll come back and be a part of that and celebrate remembering everything it is that Jesus went through for us. So, anything else for the good of the order?
No.
All right, that's great.
Touched all the bases. We hit about 40 different links in our description.
Tons of links. We talked about Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Boy Meets World. I mean, service dogs. We've done it all.
Yep. We're
Rowinga refugees, running 6Ks.
Little kids.
We've been everywhere.
Yep.
I hope you feel edified. I got to use a big church word. Thank you to Christy for being on with us today. Appreciate that. Hey, make sure you check that out. What it is that they are doing for servicemen and women and our first responders. And if you want to support that, the link is there to do that. Check out the 6K and sign up to come and check out Good Friday as well. We hope that you will be there for all of that. Whew. All right. And I hope we see you this weekend. James, are you ready to play us out?
I am.
All right. Well, we will wrap things up then. And thank you also to WeServe for getting all of our orders perfect. All right.
Oh, where's my picture?
Where's your picture? Where are you? There you are.
There I am.
All right.
Here I am.
It's Church Chat with Pastors Dan and Dave. Come hang out with us on our stream. It's Church Chat Wednesday.
Have a great day, everybody.
See you later.